video thi on ya de video chuan ji de video thi i no tu phong yu MeFree or nó có tàu hậu chợ hồng bìa ở đó luôn đừng chỉ cá xe cho tàu cơ nó thì tì đã cá lần thì và chữ tụ và ba nữa nó thì đi cho cái hậu chợ hồng bìa thì nên chừng tụ khi thì nó chỉ hậu gì là nó là với tụ nương rong chỉ ta là sự ok nhớ đó không đợi được cũng mua xử lý nhớ đó họ sample department là mỗi tụ của tụ hai lô sợi chế chơi đó thì được cũng mua bé tuần Josh mong và tụ hai lô chơi thì mua lượt lúc cùng hậu thì mua brand culture cháu là tiếp đi thay là cũng tôi hay lụt chơi tí dạng cầu thế còn đó là toàn gì cũng cho bé mông cho lụt là do hay chơi xe đồ tụi phong như MeFree do các anh trong tiền là hay lụt qua lụt mình lại càng đau sơ.
What's going on? I'm so happy to be here to MC this meeting. My name is Natalie, and my mom culture is by name Lee, which is something that I'm really good. Okay? I'm so happy to MC this meeting's program. First of all, let's do the logistics. Okay, so when I MC, I like us to be quiet before I start talking. There we go. Whoa. You guys are good. You guys are good. That means next time I love to come back and do MC again, right? Thank you so much for your attention. Housekeeping, the bathroom is toward that side. You walk to the entry door there. Man and woman on that side, just in case this is your first time to this beautiful restaurant, right? Second of all, on behalf of Pasi and the planning committee or the host committee here, we want to thank you, the owner of this Sian Quang restaurant and hall, Mr. Spencer Cawv. And also, we want to thank you to Ms. Kapao Yang, who is the CEO and owner of the Hugo Meat Processing sponsor this event tonight. All right? So, I guess with no further ado, I just want to introduce the two hosts person here. First, I'd like to introduce Pasi Yang. Pasi Yang is a former Minnesota Hmong Chamber of Chairman. He is also the owner of Hmong House, the first owner of Hmong House. And I introduced Kapao Yang. Kapao Yang is the CEO of Hugo, like I said. So I wanted to go over the conversation and tell us what we are going to do tonight. So let's see, let's say that Kapao is a little behind schedule, so we're going to have Ba come here instead of Kapao. Ba. Okay, love it or Ba.
Okay, thank you, Giovanni. Yes. First of all, good evening, and thank you for each of us. I know that you guys are busy, but tonight is very important that to see all of you here for a good cause. A man, a journey of 2,000 miles. You know, I didn't imagine that I see in my lifetime see a person that run across a country like MeFree. I want to share that myself last year just happened that my wife and I went to Unison. Many of you have been to Unison, right? And my wife made me so mad. So I decided I'm going to walk home. So I walked from Unison to Lake Elmo. And I thought I was a tough guy, right? But when I hear freely walk from Ocean City, Maryland to San Francisco, wow, he's 100 times more than me. So let's give a hand to MeFree. And I'm so honored. I never met MeFree before until today. I don't know him, or I never met him. But I do know Mitch Lee, Long TV, HBC. Mitch and I, we came a long way. Until the day that I called him, I said, Mitch, you need to come in and cover this. And he said, that's my brother. So otherwise, I don't even know who's Mitch, MeFree's family is. But I'm so glad that today I have the family here to support as well. And thank you for all of you to be here to support. But I'd like to start to say thank you all the speakers, especially Judge Adam tonight, Judge Paul, and Judge Sophia, and we have Muaj Cawv from the Hmong American Partnership. We have the officer, Mark, from the police department to share some of the chief of police. And also Brother Tony to be here. And we also have Roy. Roy always been a great friend to me and the community. So thank you, Roy. And our last speaker, she will tell who she is, what she does, but she and I know each other for over 15 years. And I'm glad that she's here tonight. She will share a very good data and very good about the community. So most of you will know who she is and what she's doing for the state of Minnesota. And so that's what I'd like to share for you guys tonight. But I want to turn over to my brother-in-law. The reason I know Free because my brother-in-law. So and he knows Free more than I do. So I want him to introduce Free, and we'll go on from there.
Good evening. Thank you guys for taking the time to come out here. Out of each and everybody's busy schedule. It means a lot. And like my brother-in-law here, Pasi said, I like to echo that sentiment and say thank you. So my name is Va. I'm part of Living Water International Church, and what we do is I'm part of the outreach team, what we call the front line. And with that, we work with homelessness. We help to battle homelessness, people with addiction, and stuff like that. We're just a small church now, but we pray that one day it grows and try to make our community aware of addiction, aware of that recovery is possible, instead of having that set stigma that, once this person is a drug user or alcoholic, that they'll never get well. I have lived experiences in that field, so, I do know that recovery is possible. And so, without further ado, Brother Free here, I reached out to him when he first started his journey. He's amazing. He's amazing, and I'll let him tell his story. But then again, thank you guys, and so.
We don't have an agenda in front of you, but I do have an agenda for us to go through tonight. So the next step is to have our pastor, Pastor Joe Gang of Vim Muaj, take a couple blessing words, then we'll start our keynote address.
Amen. Can we give a clap to God? I know secret. that he's able to accomplish his mission because there's a master behind him. There's a big guy behind him, and every time he called me, he only talked about God to me. I said, all right, I knew it. I know his secret. I know why he can run. I know where all those energy, the strength is coming from, and I'm just very proud of him, what he has accomplished, from the east to the west, and along every journey. He always come when he have an obstacle, when he's going through something, when he need encouragement, and that's how it is in life too. When we run, it's also like in our life, we go through things, but we get back up and we keep running. And Free is a good example of that. Even he might fail many times, he might relapse many times, but he get back up and he keep trying. And I'm very happy to see today that he is sober, he is free, and he is running to show that there is hope and you can be free. And so we're very proud of Free for doing that. And that's every time we talk, and I wrote something down right here. I just knew God's behind it. And Isaiah 40:31 say, those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. And I know every time his hope is in God, that's where his strength was in. He said, God, you got me, I'm going to keep running. I'm going to keep going up this hill. I'm going to go through this village. There's many times he was thinking about, oh, what if a bear attacked me? But his hope was like, God, you got me. And so because his hope is in the Lord, and I know that's his strength. And they will soar like wings, like eagles. They will have wings like eagles. And they will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. And that is Free, the God that's behind him. And one thing today I know for sure, in 1 Corinthians 9:25, everyone who competes in the game goes into strict training. They do it for the crown that will not last, that will not last, but we do it for a crown that will last forever. And what Free did was a crown of eternal, a crown of saying that God set him free. And this is why he's running this to show the hope in God. And the Txoj Kev Haus be lúc nãy chia tô những chua thì anh tờ sư tờ sĩ tô be lúc nãy you more get more hope, get back up and we keep running, and there's hope and there's freedom. And they asked us to pray for him on his next journey. It doesn't end here. He accomplished great things and many great things. I know he did not run this thing. Truly, I know from the bottom of my heart, he did not run this marathon, not for himself, not for fame, not for a show, not for a prize, but to show the power of God that is real. And anyone can do it. And so I know the journey ahead, there is still more that he's going to keep running. There's still more that is ahead for him. And we're going to agree and pray this prayer for him. Can we close our eyes tonight? Father God, I thank you tonight as I lift up Free to you. Thank you for the journey that you protected him, love him, encourage him, that he made it this far. And we thank you that you are glorified in this run and in this marathon. And God, may you bless him, cover him as his journey forth. May there be doors be open to him. And may he be a light that shines on the city that never died. In the name of Jesus, amen.
How did he do this? What part are you complete? You did the journey. You do it, and that's why you're here. So that's what we're here to support you. All right. I understand my feet talk a little bit long, but it's okay. It is story. So yeah. Thanks so much for your patience, and thanks for coming to tonight. We are so proud of you. So on our agenda, we have community leaders and our judicial component guests were here tonight too. So I'm gonna first introduce one of our retired police officer from the Ramsey County Sheriff, Ralph Nelson. Ralph Nelson, where you can say a couple of words of endorsement.
Good evening, and it's nice to look out in the crowd with so many friends. And part of the story that struck home to me is community, connection, the ability to feel part of something greater than yourself is what makes recovery work. I retired from the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. I was a public information officer in community engagement, but my full career I was a teacher and coach at Como Park Senior High. And community, for me, is a support network. And I look here and I see Judge Sophia, I see her from the Council on Asian Pacific Minnesotans. I see Mitch filming me, and I'll make him work because I'm going to walk over here. And notice he's up to the challenge. But what I see is several decades now of having a chance to have involvement among American community. And when Bob talked about Living Word Church partnering to serve meals, they're partnering at Frogtown Recovery Cafe, 499 Charles, Faith Lutheran Church. And one of my honors is to have been asked to be a founding member for Frogtown Recovery Cafe by two dreamers. And their dream wasn't to run across the country, but their dream was to bring others into recovery. Their dream was to show that there's hope. Their dream was to show that there's community. Their dream was to show that nobody's alone, and that there is a higher power, a spiritual power that makes things fit and work better. And Basi and I have been friends for a number of years. He asked me to come here. He asked me if I would, quote unquote, use rank to get the chief, Axel Henry, to come here. The chief has a conflict, but he sent two of St. Paul's finest. We may not look at recovery with police officers, but police officers are believers in hope. They're believers in change. They're believers that if something can be connected with, there can be a better ending. And to some extent, that's what the judges are. Sometimes it's hard when you see people at their hardest moments, but then people have better moments. And sometimes the better moments become great moments. And as an aging geography teacher for part of my career, once you got through Denver and Utah, it was all downhill to San Francisco. And an incredible story. So my last piece, and I think we're going to have one of the East Side officers speak. The idea is all of us help build community. All of us help make connection. All of us can sometimes be the one that gives hope, even if it's the one up on the top of the hill by the motel or the one running by. And all of us are better together. And the story I take away from that is, you did it. Don't ever forget that. But you didn't do it alone. And I know you'll never forget that either, but make sure you always remember, you did it. And I hope you're proud as hell of that, because I'm just amazed. So, thank you for my little rabbit.
We are fortunate to have some support from the City of St. Paul Police Department. Unfortunately, Chief Henry won't be able to make it, but he sent two finance officers here, Mark, May, and Tony F. But Mark's going to come and say a couple words.
I don't know about finest, but we'll give it a shot. Appreciate the opportunity to be able to come here and to hear this story, and it's impressive, it's humbling to hear that story of your drive, your faith. It's truly humbling, and it's nice to be a part of this. I didn't know when we came to work this morning that we would, be a part of this, and this is just a gift. My partner and I are actually on duty right now, so I apologize for having to have our radios on and things like that. But we're both patrol sergeants in the East District here, and so we're keeping an ear out for what's going on. I just wanted to touch on a little bit about the community piece. And I think that as people, sometimes we fail to see entities as anything other than entities. And as the St. Paul Police Department is part of the community, we're one puzzle piece in a larger puzzle. As the attorneys and the judges and Team Challenge all play a part in that community role. But each of those entities are made up of people. And they're made up of people who want to help other people. They want to help other people in the community. We have a lot of guys that come to work every day just to do that, because we like to help. And, I'm reminded of a story. My aunt and my mother were talking, they're sisters, and my aunt made the comment that every time she hears a siren, she thinks, oh no, somebody's in trouble. And my mom corrected her and said, no, every time I hear a siren, I think somebody's getting help. And at St. Paul, that's how we look at that. Because we do want to look at being a part of the community that can help and that can encourage. And all of us as being people are not immune from the issues of addiction and recovery. We've all probably been touched, at least directly or indirectly, by someone, member of the family, maybe ourselves, who have been through that process. And so we kind of know what that's about. If we all stop and think about that as people, then we will be able to continue to work as a community. And I appreciate St. Paul's. This is not a sales pitch for St. Paul, although I could give one about the police department, but our approach to that from Axel Henry, our chief, is that we're a part of the community and we're there to serve and we're there to help people out. And it's hard to get over that and get past that sometimes when you see uniforms and squad cars and lights and all that kind of stuff. But we are people, and I can tell you that our department is made up of people who want to help, who want to be a part of the community and enjoy that. Thank you again for sharing that story. Again, like I didn't know that I'd get to hear that tonight, but it is truly humbling, and I appreciate that. And it speaks volumes of you. It's nice to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, So we're going to transition to the judicial leaders who are fortunate to be here with us tonight. And again, as some of these speakers mentioned, we live in a community together, so it is important people see situations like this pretty much a lot, and they're here, it's important for us. So I'm going to transfer to Judge Adam. Judge Adam is the Minnesota 2nd District Judicial. He has been with the bench for 6 years now. So let's welcome Judge Adam.
Thank you. Betsy, thank you for the opportunity to speak. And Free, where are you? There you are. I want to congratulate you. You are amazing. You accomplished an amazing goal. I commend you for what you did. Now, it's not supposed to be political, but I'm going to make a political joke here. It's kind of serious too. If President Trump can get a Peace Prize from FIFA, you should get a gold medal from the community. And I say that because, running all the way from the East Coast to West Coast, I heard your story only about a month ago when Betsy called me. And then I started looking up on Facebook and on Google, and wow, I'm just missing, wow. But here's the but part. Don't stop, because the Hmong community needs you. You need to go out and talk to the community and talk about the chemical use issue that we have in the Hmong community. We shouldn't, and in this, the reality is we shouldn't have someone like you. We don't to talk about it, but we don't, and you are here. You are our leader. You are at the top, and I want you to go out there to talk about this issue that we have. I look forward to a day, a time, when, when I go to a Hmong community event, I'm not being handed a bottle of beer at 11 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so I commend you for what you did, but I want you to continue what you're doing, which is to address this chemical use issue, and you are the right person to do it. As a judge, before I became a judge, when I was a public defender, I had clients who went to Teen Challenge. I want you to introduce people to Teen Challenge. I don't think the Hmong community is aware of Teen Challenge. You went through it, show them the way, like God showed it to you. So continue what you're doing. We do need to address this. I know that the Hmong community doesn't want to talk about mental health issues. Hmong community doesn't want to talk about chemical use issues. But thank you. Be there for us. You are there. And I'm looking forward to you talking more and to have you come talk to the judges. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yang. So to Judge Paul Yang, again, he's also represented in his second judicial district. So let's welcome Judge Paul Yang.
Thank you. Wow. MeFree's amazing story. So I already heard about your story. I'm honored to be here today, hear from, in person from you. And I just want you to know that everybody always mentioned about what your accomplishment is, what you are going to do in the future, but I'll tell you that as a judge, I'm going to carry your story with me, and I do my part. I will share your story. I will share, what you have achieved, and especially your recovery journey. So currently, I am actually the judge and preside over DWA Treatment Court in Ramsey County. So in Ramsey County District Court, we talk with the community. We all part of the community, and it's the court where you commit a crime, we send you to jail, to prison. But we also recognize that, there's a community out there that, MeFree talk about addictions and disease. It's just, more than just one crime. It's a disease. You need to be treated. You need to support. And I think one of us really talked about the stigma of addiction, right? So you've been cast aside, the family, disown you. And when you're in isolation, what happened? The addiction got worse. He talked about, I took to my friends are the bottom. That's all I have. Those are my friends. And that's, a few people already mentioned, it's even especially true in the Hmong community. I mean, I'm part of the whole state, but also the Hmong community. When we look at an alcohol addict or a drug addict, we cast them aside from family members, from the community. So that person just going to struggle by their own. And it's very hard to recover or overcome your addiction by yourself. And the court recognized that. We started a treatment program in 2005, the DWI court program. So basically, we took in people that have multiple DWI. Instead of sending them to prison, we bring them to the treatment court. We make them go through treatment. We do random testing 3 times a week. So you don't know which day we're going to test you. We give you the support. And MeFree we already talked about you can't do this by yourself. You need support. You need your family. He has his family support. That's why he's successful. You need professional support. He talked about Teen Challenge. You need God if that's your faith. You need God, right? And a lot of people, because I preside over the treatment court, I saw a lot of people that graduate, meaning they successfully recover from addiction and they moving on to bigger, better things. You need to find something. You need to find yourself again, basically. If faith is what give you the drive, go with faith. If your daughter, your kids, your son, your daughter, It's like what you care about. You want to be you want to spend time with your kid when you're not drunk or you're not always under the influence. Then that's when they hit you. That's when you start your road to recovery. So just to let you know that the court is part of the community and we are involved. And MeFree, I will continue to share your story. And congratulations on your road to recovery. Now you've been, it takes day by day, and now you recover, but it's still, the process doesn't end, right? You know that better than any of us. So, congratulations, and as part of the community, as part of the judicial branch, we also will welcome you to talk to the people in my program as well. So, congratulations, and thank you for all your support. So, good to make it this happen.
Thank you, Judge Poyang. As I go to Judge Sophia Wu Law, according to record, she is the first Hmong judge in the United States of America. She also represents the Minnesota 2nd Judicial District. So let's welcome Judge Wu Law.
For clarification, I was the second judge to be appointed. Just wanted to be accurate. So every Monday morning in Ramsey County District Court, I have a sentencing calendar for the most serious offenders. People who have committed felony offenses and have either pled guilty and accepted accountability or went through the jury trial process and was found guilty by a jury. And as I prepare for that sentencing calendar, I'm given information about the person's personal background, cultural background, criminal background, and other relevant information to help me and the lawyers make a decision that's appropriate. Our decisions are also guided by what's called Minnesota Sentencing Guidelines. But what's really important to me as I prepare for that calendar is this. It is always my hope that no matter who is standing in front of me, no matter how serious their offense is, that they leave our court system with a sense of hope, with a sense that they will come out a better person. It does not matter whether they murdered someone, sexually assaulted their own child, or is a felony DUI offender. I will leave them with one thought. And I often say this to that person. I tell them, and I remind them, you're not the sum of your worst mistake. You have so much more to look for, and you are still a good person. Then I also leave them with this final thought, and I say, use this moment not to define you, but use it to refine you. In MeFree, you have done that. You have taken all your hardship, all the challenges, every adversity that you have faced, and you've used it to refine you. And so really, hats off to you for doing what so many of my colleagues, so many of those of us who work in law enforcement, the court system, in our community, it is always our hope that individuals will come out in a better place than they started. I also want to commend Jenna Lee for really talking about this issue very publicly. We saw Jenna Lee, they were policy, they had no young law, they were just from society, you should have some Txoj Kev Haus, and you see MeFree just story, your whole experience, basically both back car, behind the home. And so really, you are to be commended. Chính nhóm mối đế của được họ của bố hay tế bé hay nâng mông bây giờ ý chịu chân hay tế dùng bò lúc tế sư ít sao thả sao tế giải or you chỉ nên qua kỹ ra mua the yo order là từ your side just your side down to you. And so MeFree thế trên mông lì You have started something really good. And what's good is that you are making it a normalcy to be able to talk about something that's so difficult, that is a stigma. We only want to focus on the good in our community. We often don't want to talk and bring out into the forefront the things that have faced our families, the individuals in our families and their struggles, whether it is alcohol addiction or chemical addiction or other mental health illness, or food addiction, whatever addiction it is, right? We don't want to talk about those things because they don't make us look good as a community and as a clan. But they don't really know lot China, you the king and now you catch them, you the king, MeFree, you found God. That's remarkable. And your story and your journey will help others to find strength to get the help that they need, okay? And we need professionals. We need professionals who are couple dependency professionals. Some of you may already be familiar. That's K-O-O-M. In the English language, it looks like Kun, but because they're Shia. They are a new nonprofit organization that was started by two Hmong American individuals who also went through the chemical dependency addiction, gone in and out of the court system, and now they're turning back to the community and using their experience to help those who are going through the court system. I've seen so many lives destroyed by chemical dependency and alcohol addiction. I've seen too many people reoffend. And everything that you said tonight, MeFree, is also sad and yet also accurate. People lose jobs. People lose their family members, their children. They lose their lives. And MeFree, you have demonstrated that when you take control of your sense of purpose, and when you are dedicated to that, we can come out so much stronger and so much better. I leave tonight with my final remarks as well. I often sometimes too, I know that it's challenging for people who are going through these struggles to think that you have any control over your life. It's incredible to be able to think that there's a path forward when you have this addiction, this disease that wants to pull you back in. And so I often tell my the people who appear in front of me, I leave them with a final thought. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. It's the poem Invictus. Again, I'll repeat it. I'm the master of my fate, the captain of my soul. And MeFree, you did all of that. You just took control. You said, I am going to be the master of my fate and what happens now. I am no longer going to look at the bottles as my friends. You found God along the way. You found genuine friendship along the way. You reconnected with your family, perhaps even deeper, in ways that you couldn't have before. You have become the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. And I'm so honored here tonight to be able to celebrate you. And one day I'm hoping to be able to complete my first marathon. So I cannot imagine running across the country. I've done half marathons, but before I leave this earth, it's my hope to run a full marathon. But I'll be thinking of you and the 8 months that you spent running. And so, again, just so honored to be part of this evening.
Thank you so much. We heard from the individual. I'm going to shift the transition to the social service side a little bit. I'd like to introduce Maizer Tao and John Yang. Maizer is from the Executive Director from Hmong American Partnership, and we have John Yang, Executive Director from One Family. So they're going to give their remarks in support of MeFree.
Nhớ rằng thảo luận giờ bây giờ không như cái tin anh trả lời là nó cũng như mạnh giải thọ cũng như từ President Castillo đã có Hmong American Partnership to our non-homesteading friends, my Txoj with the Homemaker Partnership. It's an honor của cháu và chị các tàu cho của sự kiện của Homemaker Partnership. Tôi chỉ ở bên lo đủ một khối cho cái hội cho con nên free nè. Cái bây the brother that bây giờ một khối cho cái giờ tao thả tao cho con ra đến nền trong journey. Rồi bây giờ luôn đâu, not just the luôn bây giờเราได้ชิมกัน And so พวกเราcũngมาtàu ở bên lo đủ là game and chỉ là đểตัวโคตรจะก็สลับฟรีและชีก็เลยหายตัวไปเฉยๆไปเจอในห้องอะไรเดียไปอยากอีรู้จักชอบไปอยากอีเจอในห้องไว้ไปอยากใช้ไปเดาคือตีนึงจ้าไปอยากห้องอยู่ไปเดินใช้ไปอยากตู้รอไปอยากใช้เลยในการถอดเลยชีจะเก๋เยอะเชียไปเลยห้องตีมือเราจะเก๋ไปเราคนเชียจะเก๋เองเจ้าในเชียสาเทียเด็กกูยังเก๋เอาไปลองดูและชีกูยังเก๋ชีluan kia như thế nhưng mà ra được gì kia chúng ta lên đó mà bây từ brother John nhà cũng học cả John mình đâu cũng hay học bên lo luôn gì cho bây giờ giờ kia về kia John cho hơi lười nữa cho họ sẽ rằng không nhà ôn đã biết được lo để tôi hoàn thành không anh như cho hơi lười nữa ba kia cho họ biết rằng không là như nhà hơi lười xa cả sẽ được bao giờ kia. And so I stand before all of you tonight to talk more from the perspective of how do we as a community support individuals, young and old, who are facing tough times in their lives. And so I wanted to start off saying that tonight we really celebrate the courage and the resilience of individuals like you three, who are walking or in your journey, who are running the challenging and deeply personal journey of recovery from chemical, substance use, alcoholism, and those sorts of disorders. Free, your progress reflects not only your own determination, but also the strength that emerges when a community chooses compassion, encouragement, and understanding. Recovery is never a straight line. It requires vulnerability, perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to healing. For Free and so many others in our community, every step forward represents hope, growth, and a renewed sense of possibility. And today we honor that work. We honor the courage that it takes to ask for help and the trust that it takes to share one story with the community. And at Home American Partnership, we're grateful to play a very small role in supporting individuals on this path. Whether it's helping people to connect to treatment options, navigate services, or receive encouragement during vulnerable moments, our goal is simple: to meet people where they are and to walk alongside them with care. But the heart of recovery remains rooted in the individual's strength and in our willingness as a community to show up for them. And that is where all of us come in, because no one heals alone. Recovery is most successful when individuals are surrounded by a network that believes in them, supports them, and refuses to let stigma overshadow dignity. And as a community, we have a very important role to play. All of us, we can create safe, judgment-free spaces for individuals to seek help. We can encourage family and friends to offer compassion and understanding. We can normalize conversations about substance use, reducing shame and increasing access to support. We can celebrate progress, no matter how small or how big, and we have to uplift those in recovery so that they feel valued and seen. Free, we honor your strength, your openness, and your commitment to your healing. Your journey inspires others who may be struggling in silence. You remind us that recovery is possible, that change is possible, and that every person deserves a chance to reclaim their future. To our broader community, that's all of us, let's continue to walk alongside individuals like Free, not just today, but throughout their journey. Let's commit to being a community that truly listens and cares and stands together so that every individual seeking recovery knows that they are not alone. And together, we truly can create a place where healing is embraced, where recovery is supported, and where every person is given the dignity and hope that they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you, Manzali. That's going to be hard to follow. But again, my name is John Yang. I run an organization called One Family. Each and we are based in St. Paul. We host our Memorial Day and Labor Day tournaments in Cottage Grove, Kingston Park. And we deal with a lot of our youth. I see that, within our youth, there are addictions that we have there too. And Free, you are truly a motivation for these youth. You can be, and you will be, as long as you stick on the path like you said. You know what I mean? Like, I feel that passion within you. When you came up here and you told us your story, it's so motivating to hear somebody that's been through it, gone out of it, and now want to preach and motivate other people. We need more people like that within our community. And I offer my hand to you if you would like to come out and introduce yourself to all the youth within our community. I deal with a lot of U18. Our demographics go to 25 years old to 30 years old. Me, I'm 43 years old, I'm still out there playing too. You know what I mean? I'm probably the oldest person out there trying to be an athlete, But, to have somebody like you beside me to tell the story that you've been through, that's what we try to motivate to our youth right now too, through sports. Through sports, a lot of people, they don't, they want to be stuck inside, they want to be with their friends, but and the thing is, they hide their problems through those things. And with sports, with running, that's a more healthier outlet. And I would love to have you come out there and just tell them your story. Tell them your story, because that is an awesome outlet. I really commend you on what you've done. It's very motivating to see that you're out here showing the world that doesn't matter how hard life gets, as long as you keep on pushing, that life will get better, And the one thing I do want to say is that it's so motivating to hear that when you wanted to give up, God gave you a reason to continue, and making this a little bit about myself right now, that's how I felt too with my organization, with One Family. Like, it gets to the point where you get so overwhelmed, so overworked, and then God sends you that one little messenger. Sends that one little messenger, and that gives you motivation to continue going. And that's one thing that I can relate with you on. And I really feel that, and I hope that we can eventually work together. Okay? All right. Other than that, I wish you well on your journey. And Tsikwansi, thank you for inviting me here also. And everybody have a good night.
Thank you, for sharing your perspective on social services to our community and our youth. All right, we got one more speaker, then we should wrap it up. But don't forget to greet MeFree afterward, okay? I know, thanks so much for your time tonight. Your time to be tonight to share with MeFree means a lot to his family, to all of us. So we appreciate your patience, your time to be with us tonight. So we're going to get to our keynote speaker, we call it. Don't take it the wrong way. Okay? We respect that there is such event like this. We want to have some important messages too. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Sia He. Sia is Executive Director of Council on Asia and Pacific, its own state agency. She has been with this agency for a number of years. I cannot be exact, but she's gonna come here and share her perspective on supporting the free. So let's welcome and see her.
Just gonna correct the name. I'm not the keynote speaker. The keynote speaker was free. I am up here to say good night, drive safely. Just kidding. You would think that after 12 years in office, I would feel a little bit more comfortable when I have the mic. But tonight, I'm just a tad bit nervous because I have two teachers of mine who are sitting in the audience, my former American history teacher and my English teacher. And so, thank goodness they're not going to grade me after this. I am Sia Her. I serve as Executive Director of the State Agency on Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. I've been in office for more than a decade. And I just want to kick off my comments by congratulating Brother Free on your amazing accomplishment, and then really want to call attention to the support network that is in place, because we all know that when individuals like you, or myself, or Judge Wu Lo, or Judge Adam Yang, when we succeed, it's because of the support network behind us. It's because of our families. It's because of our community. And our community can be made up of, our parents, our siblings, as well as law enforcement, our teachers, right? And so I just want to congratulate you, and then I want to congratulate the entire support network that is behind you. And I know just, someone had mentioned earlier that I might bring up some data points. I won't, because I'm sure all of you want to go home. But in general, Asian Americans have a lower rate of alcohol use when compared to the general US population. We also are less likely to be screened for issues such as alcohol consumption, right? And that largely has to do with the fact, well, with several factors, right? One of which is what we perceive to be honor, dignity, pride. We are a community that talks oftentimes about our collectivist view of the world. But our collectivist view of the world is oftentimes premised on the most successful of us. So when we're up here, we're talking about the judges, the elected officials, and I'm so glad that we're here tonight to talk about free, and the fact that you are a catalyst, you are an agent of change, because we often don't talk about mental health issues, we don't talk about chemical abuse, we don't talk about any issues that are perceived to be airing dirty laundry, right? And so the fact that you're giving us a reason to tell that story really is a reflection of the cultural paradigm shift that our community is experiencing. And so thank you so much. And then everyone has said some of the most important things already, but I want to just hone in on a very personal angle here, and that's that, Brother Free, you and I are not that different in age. And I think, it's not too far-fetched for me to make some assumptions about you. I would think that, given what I know about people our age, our generation, that when you find yourself in this dark hole where you are addicted to alcohol, right, that maybe one of the heaviest burdens you carry is the knowledge that you have failed your parents and your family and your community. And oftentimes that knowledge is what, has us keeling over, right, and giving up. And the fact that you didn't give up, right, is such a testament to your personal courage and humility and perseverance and determination. And I just want to simply applaud that, because everyone has talked about community, community, community. I just want to say that you are the change agent we've been waiting for, and so continue, the message that you are helping to deliver to the community. It's time. And then I'll just end on the note that in a year when we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Hmong American experience, right, the 50th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War, we're celebrating the first Hmong American Hmong ancestry woman to be elected into the office that is the mayor of St. Paul. It's fitting that we're also celebrating your cross-country journey. And the fact that that was one of the moments, and it was up until this very moment, your story, the fact that you ran cross country, in my mind, is the most effective tool we have had to bring attention to an issue that we might not touch if it weren't for the courageous individuals like yourself. And so, on behalf of the state of Minnesota, thank you so much for everything that you've done. I will just also add that Minnesota is home to the largest urban concentration of Hmong ancestry people in the world, and St. Paul, Minnesota is the city on the hill for the Hmong diaspora. So thank you so much for giving Minnesota one more reason to continue to role model for Hmong around the world what happens when we are given opportunities to reach our full potential. So thank you so much, and then to all of you, have a wonderful rest of the night and safe drive home.
Thank you so much, Sia. All right, so before we close, on behalf of the planning team here, just want to thank everybody for coming tonight, and also thank you the San Juan Restaurant and Hall for the hospitality. Also thank you Cawv Yang, Hugo, E-Process for sponsoring this event. With that, I'm going to turn over to brother-in-law Vashon to close the event. And please don't go home yet. Please try to read and appreciate Bang. Thanks so much for your time here. So, bye.
Hi, nhớ đồng chí lên cho từ của lúc đấy người Cambodia, của yêu từ America. I'm sorry, there's some English speaker. Maybe Judge Sophia could interpret. I used to interpret her all the time in court. And Judge Adam, Judge Paul. Yes, I worked with the three judges for about 20 years before I am doing what I'm doing. I am the homeless director for Living Water Church. This is my frontline team. This is Bonnie, the coordinator, and this is Pastor Chair. We go out there once a month. We feed the unsheltered individuals in St. Paul. It's very diverse, but when we go out there, we try to focus on our Hmong brothers and sisters. It's very sad because we've been here for about 50 years. We got doctors, lawyers, judges, mayors, but to see our children being like that is very sad. So it really hurts my heart that so we go out there. Masters, Hugo. We donate. We donate. When I go out there, I make them home cooked meal. I make stuff to make them feel like home. And food is just the top lining of what we do. But tôi nhớ chỉ cho hai lúa đồ, nhớ chỉ cho xí lúa, nhớ chỉ mà là bị hay thì có chỉ là một tôi nói mình nhỏ, chỉ cho cái biết thì mình nhỏ là nhớ chỉ cho bố thì cái chỉ bố thì nhớ chỉ đi cái mình nhỏ mà cái tôi xem tôi ya, bây giờ sai mong nhớ chỉ cho bố bài chế, nhớ có tụi gì tàu con nhớ tàu con là đã bắt bài chế cái như chỉ cái tụi gì là cái như mỗi ngày cái mình là cho chơi ta cái mình nhỏ bé cái tàu con mình nhỏ bé. Giờ em còn chơi chỉ lo gì thế chỉ trong gì, tôi có một tập bây giờ có chỉ hỏi em không chua, có chỉ hỏi đi hỏi tới có nhớ chỉ thôn mò. So that's how it all starts. You know, homelessness has a lot of different stories. So I just want you guys to understand. As human beings, I invited some people to come. But you gotta understand that. People tell me, like in English, I invited some individuals and they told me, I don't know, he's not well known, he's embarrassing, he did a lot of stuff in the Hmong community, so we don't want to support him, and that's the wrong mentality. Because I think it all starts from the root. Especially now, it's better to show how to join me. When you're though you'll gain along, there's no perfect person. So that's what we do. And our job as the frontline team is we go into the trenches of the unsheltered homeless encampments. We go knock on their tents. We ask them, what do you guys want? What do you guys need? And what we do is we speak life to them. We make them feel like they're human again. And from there, they will open up to us. And then from there, we bring them into recovery. We have a lot of mom recovery programs throughout Minnesota. Goal Recovery is one of our main ones that they help us. And they also have PPC, Ilu Mong, Gong Hoi Ba, maybe can be doing type where you go to where you go. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So this is what we do, and everything that they want, it comes out of our own pocket. So you guys feel like you guys want to go to our page. It's called Living Water International, and if you guys want to donate or whatever you guys feel in your heart, or you need some volunteer, give us a call. Give us a call and. Cụ biết sự chỉ trong bộ này có nên cho biết bài cái một bỏ cái chuyện này để bỏ hết tiền trong mỗi lần nó chỉ nói gì để bán sao để bỏ đi cái mình tôi mình nhỏ cho chia đi yêu rồi bây giờ cái mình tôi mình nhỏ này cái mình nhỏ mua xe trâu theo nếu chỉ nên một là nên một cho nên một hai lô rong được chờ rong xe chọc cả bên một hai nữa so cụ chờ nên cho nên tụi nó biết bài cái để biết bài cái rong and I want to thank everyone có lô này sẽ được tan thon đi lúc xí hở của bọn mình cứ you know. It's late, and a lot of us know that she needs to go big. Look at me, Brother Free Chaplain. Brother Free, we share Facebook and this sister Kambo. I'm going to go run across the country. I said, really? I want to donate everything I own, that you can bring it to the encampments and one of your brother and sister, because I want to be free. I want to run. And show all these brothers and sisters what has saved me. I said, okay, so we met. We spoke for a little bit. I took all his items and I did bring it to the encampments, and I did give some to some Hmong children that are in foster home. So I gave all his stuff away. We spoke a lot. Some nights he'll tell me, sister, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I said, really? He's like, yeah, it's really cold. I'm in the mountains of Colorado. I can't do it no more. And I tell him, you know, think about your purpose. Think about what happened, why you're doing this. And so I'm really happy that you're here. Congratulations. We love you. So
yeah, I'll translate that in English. Thank you everybody for coming. We understand that everybody is super busy, and you know the weather is not that good either. So by you guys all showing up, it means a lot. And you know, Brother Free, I'm sure he appreciates that. You know, so again, congratulations, Free. And from here on out, just understand that you have a slew of individuals behind you that's cheering for you. So we are all here for you, and you know, on behalf of Living Water, you know, if you need anything, we're here for you. And everybody, you know, as you guys go home, please drive home safe, you know, and love one another.
Yes, so be patient and you don't know, we all heard it, the story that there is still hope. There's hope in Free. It's a sample of that hope. And chúng ta chỉ share rằng nếu một mình tụi mình nhỏ, nếu một nơi tư của đây một giờ của những một chua, một tay mình đi trả là mua hope một cái share. There is a community out here that can help them. Mua ý cho nên nó shut down already back through the system, and there's hope for them. They don't know really couple by hand high ben chợ lò na ben bún lò xông mẫu nó. It's more than just that. It's really to cho lò tận lò na. Còn lò tận lò còn là couple equal chance. So we believe in second chance. We believe that everybody deserves a chance, and we believe that such a life is important and nobody deserves to die. like that or to be given up like that because the moon and they have a purpose and a plan. How do they know? And so there's hope, there's help. Cái này sẽ được bảo vệ cái ba đồ là thứ tiền. Cho nên chỉ bảo ba là tôi bé tôn chỉ bé mà lý này từ ren này cho nên một đồ học thơ của ba đồ đây tên trung nổi tiếng. And when she from Komodo next one, thank you so much. We cannot do the long. It takes a community. They bought free. It took a community behind him to help him to accomplish and finish the race. To back on the thing, it takes all of us to be shut the war game. Make it what the basic what you thought. Be new name. Make it what the here. And the be back the be be doing no be you show no. And what make sure na. Thank you guys so much.
Cứ khi nào theo我做的bây giờ呢，就直接碰到有错多那都下的 video ที่อ้อหลอน的 MeFree ให้做cứ khi nào theo我做的bây giờ呢，就直接碰到有错多那都下碰出现那的 video 我考虑做，被ตัว碰有 MeFree 那一ตัวหนึ่งว่าเนี่ย后边后者我的รุ่นหนึ่งจิกาเชียรุ่นหนึ่งโยเชียต่อตัวเกิน那个ตีหลอนเทียว่าจือว่าตัวป้าเนี่ย那个ดีnếu cứ chơi cho cái yếu chỉ hậu trợ hậu biện gì là thế yếu là我luôn nâng chia rộng rồi luôn nâng giá toàn đây là trò chuyện đến đó là cứ khi theo thằng bây giờ này cho gì cho phong cho yếu chúa tụ chuẩn chỉ cho cái nó cái nhau rồi